In the last 9 months, we've generated 15,216 new leads and booked 1,294 calls. And how I've been able to manage this is using a simple yet powerful tool called Notion. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly what the lead generation strategy is using what we call the authority funnel. And then I'm gonna show you inside of Notion how we can manage these leads so that we can ultimately take the lead from being cold to a booked call to ultimately sold. And what you'll get from this video is you'll get the infrastructure of what we call the authority funnel, as well as the infrastructure for making sure that you're taking the leads that you're getting and actually being able to set appointments from them. So first, let's talk about what am I doing to generate these leads? You know, a lot of agencies out there, they struggle with lead generation because they're not having a predictable way to do it. People rely on word of mouth and referral. They hope that their next deal is going to come through. They think if I just post more organic content, somebody's going to come up and somebody's going to want to work with me. And the problem with that is that's unpredictable, and it leads to the cycles of feast and famine, and it really creates no predictability for growth or really trajectory for growth. So in order to combat that, we need to create a predictable way to get new leads that we can then work with, source, and get from cold to sold in an effective way. There's multiple ways to achieve this, but today what I'm going to talk about is authority funnel, which is paid ads, and our way of leveraging paid ads to get more deals. And I know what you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, paid ads, really expensive, really hard to learn, hard to figure out. I can't do paid ads, or I tried paid ads before for my agency and it just didn't work. Probably because you just haven't followed this strategy. So what we're going to talk about is the authority funnel, which is a super simple strategy that myself and hundreds of agencies inside of agency are using to close more deals. And guys, if you want us to help you with the authority funnel, feel free to click the link down in the description to learn more about how we can install this for you. So when it comes to the authority funnel, basically what there is there's 3 different ads that we're running. We are running a DM video ad, we are running a B-roll ad, and we are running a carousel ad. The intention of all these ads is to get them to take action, and the action that we want them to take is to DM us. And really what makes these ads so effective is the copywriting. And this isn't going to be a copywriting video. This isn't going to be an in-depth funnel review video. It's going to be more of the infrastructure. But the reason these ads work so well for myself, as well as are generating tens and thousands of dollars for agencies inside of Agency U, is because of the copywriting, the framework of it. The benefit of the direct message is that we get them inside of our DMs. So one thing as an agency that we always preach is that we need to be building our brand. People work with it, they know who they like, who they trust. Buyers are becoming more savvy. That becomes more important. And if you're not trusted online, if you're not posting consistent content, if you're not adding value, if you're not showing your expertise, then it's going to be really, really challenging to convert your DMs. So once we have a DM, what we'll then do is we will then appointment set inside of the DMs. From the DMs, what we will do is we will book a call, and ultimately it will lead to a deal. The beauty about this that we're seeing a ton of agencies is literally like they're getting around $30 cost per lead, if not significantly cheaper. And the return on their ad spend has been super, super significant. I mean, guys, if you're really curious and you want to see some of these case studies from the specific funnel, I encourage you to check out our case studies page where you can literally see hundreds of wins from members inside of Agency U who are crushing it using this super simple strategy. We have hundreds of videos, we have a wall of wins, and so much more, guys. So this is proven. This is not theory. It's generated multiple 7 figures for us already and can do the same for you. So this is how we're getting the leads. So we're running the authority funnel to get the opt-ins, and we're then setting the appointments inside of the direct messages, which scales trust. We have a workflow for the appointment setting, and then we're booking a call from the direct messages and ultimately leading to a deal. Now the question becomes, how do I organize this? How do I organize this inside of Notion? How do I have the infrastructure to actually scale this? Make sure this is super organized and it's not a mess when I start running ads and start getting leads. And how do I hire somebody, an appointment setter? And how do I make sure all my things are organized? And how do I get data and all that good stuff? That's what we're going to go over inside of Notion. So inside of Notion, what we have is what we call a agency operating system. It's really the infrastructure to scaling your business. A lot of agencies, you know, if they're doing lead generation, they have leads, you know, in their brain, they have leads stored in this Google sheet, they have leads stored in like this note section, and it becomes a mess. And the likelihood of them actually getting that lead to actually convert is slim to none. Or if they're running a funnel like this, they'll just keep them in the DMs and they'll somehow remember to follow up and hope that they'll remember to follow up with somebody. And it is just a complete mess. Design beats willpower. If we can create the design for our business, then it'll outsmart any sort of willpower that we need to create in order to have success with this. How do we manage this? First, what we do is every time that we get a DM, we will automatically link it to ManyChat. So if you guys don't know what ManyChat is basically a tool where you can automate your DMs. We can automatically send them a message based off of what they sent. So inside of ManyChat, this is what it looks like. User sends a message, because in the ad, what we're saying is DM me the word leads and I'll shoot you over more information, or I'll shoot you over a lead magnet, or whatever it is that your call to action is. And what we can do inside of ManyChat is we can then tag them a specific word. So leads example would be the tag here. And then inside of ManyChat, what we'll be able to do is we could do a little smart delay, and then we can send them a message if they use the word that we marked. In this case, they would be sending the word lead. We would tag them leads. We would send them a message and start the conversation from there. But what this also allows us to do is it allows us to automate all of the people that are responding inside of Instagram into our leads database inside of the Notion operating system. So if I go back to our operating system, on the left-hand side, we will see appointment setting operating system. And what you'll see in here is you will see a leads board. On the leads board, what we can do is we can automate all of the leads that we're getting from ManyChat to the leads board, so that when we do get a new lead, we can actually increase the likelihood of us actually converting them. And to do that, it's pretty simple. All we need to do is we need to go to Zapier, create a Zap, and what we can do is we can create a ManyChat, link our ManyChat, configure it. Anytime somebody comes in with a specific tag, whatever our tag is, then what we do is we just create a database item and we send it to the database inside of our operating system, and we can send all the information that we're getting from ManyChat into that database so that we can stay organized with it. So once somebody opts in from the authority funnel, we'll be able to see all the leads that opt in. So I can see where did they come from? What word did they opt in for, which I can automate. And what I'll be able to see is their name. I can see, what time they opted in. I can mark if they're qualified, all of the components that are important when it comes to lead generation, setting appointments, and managing the leads that you currently have. So by maneuvering these properties, by having these properties, we can be able to follow up with them, make sure that, see if we booked a call, all of that good stuff, literally all in one place. We want to automate the leads that we're getting into our leads board. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a test real quick, and I'm going to test this step, and we're going to see this person come through. So I just click that. If I go back here, I can see that this test came through. So this was a previous test. And if I open this, I can see, cool, it came from Zapier. That's who created it. They opted in with the word ops, and their Instagram handle is this. So what your job will be is to really maneuver the leads board and get them from initiated to booked. So we have a appointment setting workflow that basically follows this. The first thing that we would want to do is we want to engage with them. Once we engage with them, we want to make sure that they're a legit profile. We want to make sure that this is actually in fact qualified. This is automatically marked, so you can mark it as qualified or not, which will then dictate how your marketing is doing for the most part, but also dictate your quantity of follow-ups. So let's just say, cool, they agreed to a call, or maybe, hey, we got to reconnect with this person. They're not quite ready. Or, hey, I'm going to follow up with this person, and I'm going to follow up on this date. And I'm going to set a reminder for myself to follow up with this person. Now we have the follow-up systematized. Maybe Carlos isn't qualified. I'm going to move him to disqualified, and I'm going to make sure the qualified is off. Maybe we booked a call. Let's click on this. We can say, cool, we booked the call on the 27th. And now what our sole job is to make sure that we're keeping this up to date and we're tracking this for every single lead that we're getting. What you also see is like qualified leads. So anybody that's marked as qualified will pop up here, which should be your indicator to follow up with people, to hit people up that are qualified, because those are the people that we want to make sure that we're paying attention to and getting from opt-in to actually leads. Follow-ups, if we do mark somebody as follow-up, so let me just click this and say, cool, I need to follow up with this person on the 5th. Then we can create a follow-up view that will show up here. Just say this person is in the follow-up stage. Then I can go to my follow-up view and I can see the follow-ups. I can see the follow-up date, and I can make sure that I'm being diligent on my follow-ups. Then we'll also be able to see by stage. We'll be able to see all the signed clients and all of that good stuff all in one. So what you'll also be able to see is you'll be able to see a menu item of everything that's going to be important for you when it comes to appointment setting. So it's one thing to get the deal or one thing to get the lead, but it's one thing to get the lead from initiated to booked, which is the sole goal when it comes to appointment setting and maneuvering these leads. So on the left-hand side, we'll see like our appointment setting workflow, which is basically a workflow of how we set appointments and basically the questions that we're asking that we create, all the SOPs that pertain to appointment setting, which is stored in our SOP library, a daily winning formula, the call confirmation video sales letter, a lead magnet if we need to send stuff to clients just to warm them up, all the calendar links. So if we're booking calls with other people, all the calendar links will be in here and we can just quickly reference this, EOD form, and so much more. All things that would be relevant for the appointment setter. That way, if I'm in conversation with somebody, then I can, on my desktop, I have this up, I have my Instagram up, and I'm looking at my appointment setting workflow. I'm quickly getting to the VSL and I'm quickly sending calendar links. I'm making sure that this is up to date. I can make comments on this and I can say, followed up, not interested, send VSL if you wanted to, confirmed appointment, all of that good stuff. So what's also important is not just setting the appointments, but also getting data as it pertains to our lead generation efforts. So that's why we have an appointment setting data board where we can see all of like the appointments set this week, how many booked calls or how many leads this week, how many booked calls this week, how many leads this month, how many booked calls this month. I can see all of the efforts as it pertains to month over month growth from a booked call perspective. So I can see our booked calls are increasing. That means I can up my ad spend. I can up my ad spend with this funnel, all that sort of stuff. I can see leads per stage. I can see how many signed deals, lead to booking ratio, how many IG opt-ins, and so much more. This is extremely important because this allows us to track our effectiveness as sales, as appointment setting, and from a lead generation perspective. So now once the appointment setter sets the appointment and this goes into book calls and they send them the calendar link to the person who's going to take the sales call, now we have a sales operating system, which then links with the calendar where we can automate all of our sales calls into the sales board where we can see all of the book calls, where they came from. We can see the information from the intake form, all of that stuff literally all in one so that your closer, so that you as a salesperson can have all of your deals inside of one with the SOPs, with the payment links, all that sort of stuff literally in front of you, and there's no room for error. So as a salesperson, what we do is we'll send them a calendar, or the appointment setter will send them a calendar, and when they book a call, it'll show up as upcoming on a specific call date. And then everything from your form will pop up here. We can see who it's assigned to. We can see the call status, that it's upcoming, that the follow-up is not scheduled. We can make sure that they showed up to track show rates. If we did close the deal, like let's just say sale, then we can put the contracted revenue. We can put the cash collected up front. And if it was like a pay in full, all that sort of stuff, which then rolls into our data, which rolls into our board. Other views are like follow-up views. We can see who we need to follow up with. Do we have a follow-up call booked with these people? We can scroll down. We can see our follow-up calendar, who we need to follow up on specific dates. We can see the sales call calendar. We can see everybody that no-showed so that we can follow up with those people. We have our EOD form with a sales presentation that we need to go over on the call, and so much more. But the main thing is that this rolls into our sales data. From our sales data, we can see, cool, how much contracted revenue have gotten, how much cash collected, what's our show rate, how many deals have we closed this month, how many PIFs, how much new revenue, how many upcoming calls, failed calls, and so much more, guys. If we're tracking our sales in an efficient way from our lead generation efforts, you will close more deals because you will have more data to make better decisions and hold people accountable to. In addition, what we'll also see on the operating system is we'll be able to see data as it pertains to our marketing efforts. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to spray and pray. We never want to spray and pray when we do marketing. We want to make sure that our marketing lines up with data and we can make decisions based off of the data. So every single day we have a VA go in and we update our daily ad metrics. So how much money did we spend? How many opt-ins did we get? What was our cost per opt-in based off of that, which is a formula? How many quality opt-ins, et cetera, which rolls up and tells us all of the data as it pertains to how our marketing efforts are doing. What's our cost per lead? What's our cost per book call? How many quality opt-ins? How many calls booked? What's our cost per book call? Et cetera, month over month. It is super important from a lead generation perspective that we have the infrastructure, not only to get clients from cold to sold, but to make informed decisions based off of our lead generation efforts. So now what I'm able to see is, cool, from a lead generation perspective, how many calls are we booking? What's our lead to booking percentage? What's our cost per call booked? What's our cost per quality lead? What's our cost per lead? All in one place. So what we do practically is we hire a VA to input this every single day from the data that we're creating, which rolls up into the dashboard, which tells us the information that we really need in order to have success. And now what we're able to do, guys, with this lead generation method is to make informed decisions, have data, so I can see all of the appointment setting data. I can start to measure how we're doing from a lead generation perspective, how the authority funnel is ripping for us. Are we making money? Are we spending more money? Are we not collecting enough cash? All that sort of stuff, literally in one place. You don't want to from a lead generation perspective, just throw spaghetti on a wall and hope something sticks. We want to have a strategy, which is the authority funnel, and have infrastructure to manage everything as it pertains to the authority funnel so that it creates data so that we can then make informed decisions based off of our business. So whatever your agency is, you need something like this if you want to finally scale beyond yourself, not be the bottleneck inside of your business, finally be able to plug people into your agency so that you're not having to do every single thing inside of your business. And now what this does from a lead generation perspective, this sets you up perfectly to start to build out your sales and marketing team. From a sales perspective, you now have a dashboard on all things sales, on all things appointment setting. You have a dashboard that you could easily plug an appointment setter into to now manage all of the different leads that you guys are getting from your ad spend, so you're not slaving away in your direct messages trying to set appointments. Rather, you have a dashboard that your appointment setter goes to with the appointment setting workflow, with the EOD form, with the calendar links, with the lead magnets, with the SOPs, all that sort of stuff, which sets them up for success. And then you as a founder, as a manager, as an owner can see all of the data, all of these statistics on how they're doing, how they're setting appointments, if they're setting enough appointments, what's the cost per appointment. And from an ads perspective, from this methodology, we'll be able to see how our marketing is doing. So we'll be able to see, are the ads working? Is this actually effective? Have we spent more than we've made? What's our cost per lead? What's our cost per quality lead? What's our cost per book call? And we can start to make informed decisions from our marketing if we need to update our marketing, update our creative, all that sort of stuff, so that you guys can ultimately be more efficient, close more deals, be more profitable. All right, guys, that is pretty much the whole lead generation system on not only how you can get more leads, but how you can actually increase the likelihood of your marketing efforts performing, your leads actually turning into appointments, and your appointments turning into closed deals. All right, guys, if you want to learn more about the authority funnel and how we could plug this into your business so that you can get more leads and predictably scale your business, literally we've done this for 335 plus agencies inside of Agency U. And let me tell you, they are ripping. You can go to agencyu.co and check out some of our case studies. They are crushing it with the authority funnel. And if you want to learn more about the agency operating system and how we can install this inside of your business so that when you get leads, you can actually close more deals and have the infrastructure to scale and finally work yourself out of the business using systems, again, click link down in the description to learn more about these two things and how we can help you get started with this. And if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel because there's going to be more videos just like this coming up in the near future, going through the different pillars as it pertains to the operating system and how to scale your business using it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you on the next one.